Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual on this good Tuesday evening. It is September the 16th, 2025, and it is currently 10:24 p.m. here in Detroit, Michigan. I'm getting ready to lay down in a second or whatever. But before I get ready to go and lay down and stuff, I have a message that I want to channel because I was hearing it as I was just in the kitchen cooking my kids some food or whatever. And what I was hearing is he rose in 3 days. He rose in 3 days. So I looked up the Bible scripture that said, I wanted to know which Bible scriptures talked about Jesus and how he died on the cross and then came back to life in 3 days. So what I stumbled across was, there was a few verses actually, but I'm only going to read one. And it is 1 Thessalonians chapter 14 verses 13 through 18. Chapter 4, verses 13 through 18. Now, what it says, and I'm going to break this down to how it's relevant to me or how I interpret it. And I wanted to put it in my digital diary. Okay, it says, "But I will not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not." Hold on, because even though I'm about to talk about the Bible, I'm about to cuss for a minute. Didn't I say sit the fuck down? Don't piss me off. Okay, I'm sorry. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 13 through 18. And I'm going to say how this is relevant to me. "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, them also which sleep in Jesus, God will bring with him." Okay? That's very important. Hold on. "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord should not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." Now, that basically talks about having faith in God, right? And that the people, there's after life, basically is what it's saying. Now, I told the story a couple of times about me dying, and I wasn't playing about that. I said that somebody had put something in my drink one time, and I had an outer body experience. Not me like floating over me, but you ever watch something on TV or you heard something where somebody would be like, oh, they flatlined for about 3 minutes and then they came back and said that they went to heaven, or that God told them this or God told them that. Well, I've had experiences like that. Okay? And I'm trying to think of the very first time. I'm here, you have more than 3. But the very first time I went to Miami with my friends. With my friend and her friends. And this happened to me. as I was in Miami with them. And that's why I say I take the stories of Kanika Jenkins, Shanquella Robinson, and females who went through that, going out of town, going out of the country on a girl's trip or a best friend trip, and then they friends turning on them and beating the fuck out of them, poisoning them and setting them up and leaving them for dead. Well, when I went to Miami with my friend, I had got really sick. And when I finally made it back to the Airbnb, it's kind of like I passed out. Like, my body was there. I was aware that I was there. However, I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I couldn't get up. I couldn't walk. But I can hear everything that was going on in the Airbnb. I just couldn't get up. And how I would describe it is like, well, you know, if you ever got drunk and then the room starts spinning, so you go lay down and you pass out or whatever. Not technically, but you just go lay down and you keep your eyes closed because the room's spinning or whatever. So you can't see shit, but you can hear everything. That's how it was. Except for I wasn't drunk. I didn't intentionally get drunk or anything like that. It also happened one time I was smoking with my brother when I lived in the apartments on East 7 Mile. I had passed out. And I made a video about this. It's about maybe 1.5 years or 2 years old now. I made a video. Actually, it may be 1.5 years old. And it's on my YouTube. So, I talked about this several times. The experience of dying. Now, when I was smoking with my brother, I had fell. After we were smoking, and I was braiding his hair, smoking, laughing, talking, and everything like that. I instantly got sick. I said, hold on, Denzel, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I tried to go to the bathroom, but in the midst of me trying to walk to the bathroom, I passed out. Mind you, I don't have diabetes, high blood pressure, epilepsy, seizures. I don't have anything like that. Me nor my children or anything. My mom didn't have it. My grandma didn't have it. None of that. So as I was telling him I didn't feel good, I ended up trying to go to the bathroom and I passed out. So then I'm like, what the fuck? I can hear everything. I was talking to myself in my head, like, why the fuck did I just pass out like this? Like, what's happening to me? What's wrong with me? Like, why can't I walk? Why did I pass out? What happened to me? I was talking to myself. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, and when is Denzel going to come check on me? My daughter, Denzel, had finally got up to come and check on me. And Lex ended up running over to me, my oldest daughter. And she started, like, really slapping the fuck out of me. And I can feel it. And I'm telling her, I'm like, I can feel you slapping me, Lex. Stop slapping me. I'm like, I can hear you. I just can't get up. I can't move, and I don't know why. I was talking to my daughter. Like, don't slap me no more. Like, I can hear you. I'm not dead. I'm alive. I'm breathing. But I just don't know what happened. I don't know what's wrong and why I passed out. Why I blacked out. Why can't I move? Why can't I talk? I don't know. But I can hear you. Or whatever. So, eventually, at first I couldn't even say that. But eventually I was able to tell her, like, Lex, I can hear you. I can hear you. So, I got up. And then I walked to the bathroom. And in the midst of me going to the bathroom, I turned on the bathroom light. I looked at myself. I'm like, what the fuck? I sat down. I had to pee. I used the bathroom, wiped myself, washed my hands. And in the midst of me washing my hands, I started feeling extra sick all over again. So I tried to hurry up and run to the bed before I passed out again because I remembered the feeling. Like, it's just like my body was giving out for no reason. So I tried to hurry up and run to the bed. And I made it to the bed and then I passed out again. And my brother's like, hey, you okay? I don't want the same thing that happened to mommy and grandma to happen to you. Like, have you been going to the doctor? Are you fine? I'm like, I just went to the doctor. I'm fine. Actually, I was perfectly fine till we started smoking. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it's like I'll keep dying or something. So that was the second time. The third time, I went to my other friend's house. And he had asked me to fry him some shrimp while I was at his apartment or whatever. So I ended up frying the shrimp. And as I'm messing with the flour or whatever, and because I usually make my own shrimp batter. So as I'm messing with the flour, I instantly started feeling sick again. And I remember this feeling because it has happened to me twice already by the time this time came around. So as I feel like my body is about to pass out, I started running to him. I'm like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I need to hurry up and sit down. And I ended up passing out right there in the middle of his living room or whatever. And he was like, you okay? You okay? I'm like, I'm okay. I got up and I sat on the couch. Then I was perfectly fine. But those are 3 times that I said I died. And never once was I by myself. I was always with somebody else. And I was either doing something like having a drink with them, smoking with them, or either I was about to eat or something. That's why I be so serious about people will sprinkle shit in your food. People will put shit in your weed, and people will put stuff in your drinks, hoping to poison you or hoping to kill you with fentanyl and all that type of shit. So I'm telling you, and y'all know I don't do drugs. I smoke weed, but other than that, I don't do drugs. So any little thing like that can fuck me up, per se. Like, it'll make me sick or nauseous. Like, I don't take narcotics and shit. I can't really take them because even narcotics make me nauseous, is what I'm saying. So anyway, those are the 3 times that I said, like, I died. Literally passed the fuck out to the point where I couldn't move. It wasn't no sleep paralysis or nothing because I was perfectly fine. Wide the fuck awake, just like how I am right now. And then all of a sudden, I just dropped dead. Where I couldn't move, couldn't blink, couldn't open my eyes, couldn't talk, couldn't do nothing but hear my surroundings. But you know what? The 3 times that happened to me, I heard something that let me know that something wasn't right. What did that got to do with 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 through 18? They talk about if you believe in Jesus, died, and he rose on the cross. And it says that he will bring back with him the other people who have died already. So this is what I'm about to get into. I died those times. And when I came back, I had like a different gift. I'm hearing what doesn't kill you make you stronger. Because what didn't kill me made me stronger. Like, I came back and I brought the dead with me. I am now able to channel my ancestors every day, all day. Like, if my passed over loved ones, and sometimes some of y'all want me to deliver a message, I can channel them. But you know, that didn't start till I died that one time and I came back to life. Okay? And I will never make this up, and I am damn sure ain't gonna lie on the Bible. But this is the interpretation that I am getting. And it's explaining to me why I am able to channel messages now. Because when the Bible says when Jesus died and he rose again, he was going to bring back people who had passed away as well. And he was going to be able to communicate with the living as well as communicate with the dead after he rose. Because he knows what it's like to be alive and he knows what it's like to be dead. Even if it was just for 3 minutes, is what I'm picking up on. And they say that everybody has a Judas in their life. Well, if everybody has a Judas in their life, then everybody has a Jesus in their life as well. And Jesus had chose 144,000 people that were going to be Christ conscious, that were going to go through the same things that he did. And he called those the chosen people. And they're mentioned several times in the Bible. Okay? I say the Jesus effect. I say I'm living the Jesus effect. I died 3 times and I came back to life. Okay? And when you come back, you either have some type of story. Oh, I went to heaven, or I went to this, or I did this. It happens all the time. However, I didn't go to heaven, but I did become one with my passed over loved ones as well, if that makes sense. Like how he says you will bring back the dead and they will all be uplifted together. So the download message that I'm getting is, Aaliyah, every time you died those 3 times, you came back with a new superpower, basically. That's what I'm going to call it. A new gift. You can now channel between this life as well as the afterlife. You can channel your passed on loved ones and I can. So this shit is deep. That's why I said you have to be spiritual when you read this religious book. It's the test of all times. It's the book of secrets that tell you what's going to happen in life and prepares you for certain things. You have to know your role. Are you the role of Judas, or are you going to be the role of Jesus? And when you're in the role of Jesus, it's not easy whatsoever. You go through the hardest test. You go through the hardest trials. They say God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. You have to go through this shit. You're going to go through being betrayed, because didn't Judas betray Jesus? He backstabbed him. You're going to go through that. You're going to go through being sacrificed. You're going to go through this type of shit. And you have to be strong enough to beat it. And that's what makes you a master. That's what makes you in the Christ conscious, in the Jesus effect. Because out of all the shit that you got to go through, still you rise, still you rise, still you rise. Even when they kill you, you got to get the fuck back up. And that's where the slogan comes from. We don't die, we multiply. We don't die, we multiply. Granted, yes, some of my passed on loved ones obviously died. So I don't believe that we're immortal. Yes, we are. This is a vessel. Our bodies are a temple, are a vessel. Our soul is what lives on. So when you come back and you got to still pay karmic debt or something, your soul reincarnates into a different body. That's why you got to treat people how you want to be treated. Because Jesus is walking in the flesh. And he's walking amongst us, and he's able, or she, he or she, they're able to communicate with the living as well as the afterlife. They're able to communicate with the heavens as well as the underworld. Why? Because they've been there. You have to go through hell to live in heaven on earth. See, people think that you're privileged. You know, you're not privileged. Favor just ain't fair. And God favors his people who don't give up, who don't sell their souls. He favors them. He calls them chosen. They're his children. So favor ain't fair. But these are the people who went through all the tests and they remained loyal. So now they come back with gifts to be able to channel, to be able to protect themselves, to be able to get warnings, downloads, and channel messages from the divine himself, from the underworld, as well as from the afterlife, as well as from people who are walking amongst us in the flesh. So I was getting at, as I was reading 1 Thessalonians chapter 14, verses 13 through 18. You will die. You know how they say ain't nothing promised but death? But we don't die, we multiply. Meaning you have to get back up. I'm hearing, get back up again. Get back up again. You have to get back up again. You have to. So when they cause a death to your finances, you got to start from the bottom and get that bag back. When they put a death to your reputation, you build your reputation back up. You don't let nobody kill the person that you know you are. You don't let nobody do smear campaigns, humiliation rituals, and all that type of shit. They may turn other people against you, but you always have to remember who the fuck you are. And you don't never let nobody convince you that you somebody that you're not. Then when they try to put a death to you, meaning to unalive you, you get the fuck back up. And you're going to be able to get back up unless your story is done being written. Unless God has called you home. But he tests us all. And you get back up again. So that's what I was getting. And I was understanding it. Like, Aaliyah, you're able to channel so much because you've died. You are now a part of the universe. the living, and the unalived. You're one with the universe. The Bible is deep as fuck, and you cannot be surface level when you're reading it. You almost got to have an imagination, because again, it's prophecy. The story was told many years ago, but you see how it's playing out now? They say everybody got a Judas in their life. So if everybody got a Judas in their life, then everybody has a Jesus in their life. Just like everybody got a good side and everybody has a dark side. You pick and choose. You have the option and the free will to choose if you want to be Jesus or Satan, Jesus or Judas. You have the option to choose that. It's your choice. But when you choose the road less taken, and that means the Jesus effect, to be godly and shit, your life will not be easy. However, you will be blessed because you've passed the test of all times. So that's what I was getting. And you do get rewarded. Hence, me being able to channel. Those are gifts. They're called spiritual inheritance.
Why is all out here just waking, bro?
Spiritual inheritances is what those are. When you begin to get gifts of clairvoyance, clairaudience, psychic abilities. Those are gifts from God. They're rewards for passing the test. So y'all walking around calling the wrong motherfuckers crazy and demonic. You have to get into the Bible and decode that bitch. You gotta crack it. But that's the channel message that I was getting just now. And I wanted to jot it down in my digital diary for myself. But if you happen to watch and listen, maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll agree to disagree. Because don't argue with me. I talk straight to the divine. So I don't really care to ask for opinions. But you can always agree to disagree. Or you can take notes. Or we can discuss things. But that's the channel message that I was getting for myself, that was explaining to me how I was able to get this way. How I'm able to channel people. Thank you, Lucky Benjamin. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But yes, so a spiritual journey is a personal journey. A relationship with God is very personal. That's why we can't be out here being hypocritical and judgmental, because you never know the relationship that somebody has with God. That's why just some people get away with murder. You know why? Because God knew the intention behind the murder. We don't. And some people don't get away with that shit. You know why? Because what happens in the dark comes to the light, and when the intentions are bad, you will be exposed. So anyway, that's what I wanted to jot down. I'm going to come back and listen to it. But I was hearing it. Like, you died 3 times and you rose each time, because your mission is not over. And you gained a new power each time, a new gift from God himself. And I'm hearing the chosen one out of the 144,000. His only begotten died and rose again. And when he did that, he came back different, with more powers, the gifts. And he was so powerful when he rose again that people thought he was cloned. They called him Satan. They said he was different, evil, able to communicate with unseen forces. But the whole time he was godly. Actually, the closest thing to God. And I'm hearing that's your story, Aaliyah. So don't ever let nobody make you feel like you crazy. Or don't ever let nobody belittle you. And always remember who you are. And I'm hearing I am whoever I say I am. And if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? And God says I am. So don't ever get it twisted or confused, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing know your worth, know your powers, and know who you are. And remember, you rose from the dead. So death does not scare you. And I'm not afraid. You rose from the dead. So death will never come easy to you. And it won't. I'm hearing you was born dead. And you came to life. I'm hearing, you know, like a stillborn. Somebody was born and their heart wasn't beating. I can't even ask my mama if that happened to me or not. But I'm hearing somebody was born dead. And they were pronounced dead at delivery. And then this baby came alive. I'm hearing you, the government, the hospital, everybody knew who you were since the day you were born. Because you was born dead and then you rose. And that's how they know who you are. You know what? That's so crazy because I was saying, like, I want to know what happened at the hospital when I was born because I feel like something happened at the hospital when I was born. But I'm like, I can't ask my mom, she's deceased. I can't ask my dad, he's deceased. I can't ask my grandma, which is my mom's mom, because she's deceased. And those were the people who should have been there when I was born. But I'm hearing right now, like, you were born dead. You were born dead. And then you came to life. And the higher ups knew exactly who you were by the birth chart that you carried. So yes, that's the download that I'm getting. Note to self. But anyway, I love you guys. Be safe. You know, stay prayed up. Meditate. Watch over the children. I'm hearing Norton, like the identity theft. Somebody needs to protect their identity. Me. But I am. Like you've just unlocked who you are. New level. New devils. I'm hearing you just unlocked it. You unlocked a whole new level when you just cracked that code. I'm hearing big blessings on the way. Big blessings. But okay, guys. I thank y'all for listening to me and staying tuned. Stay tuned.